The upcoming ID documentary series Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV delves at the allegations of violent and poisonous conduct that plagued some of Dan Schneider's popular Nickelodeon shows. Interviews with former cast members, writers, and crew from popular Nickelodeon episodes are featured in the four-part series, which debuted on March 17. They discuss the allegedly grim climate they found behind the scenes. Schneider and the Children's Channel had a lengthy relationship together. He began his career at Nickelodeon in 1993 as an executive producer and writer for All That. He later went on to develop several popular series for the network, such as Zoey 101, iCarly, Drake and Josh, and The Amanda Show. But in March 2018, after stories surfaced about his alleged abusive behavior on production, Nickelodeon severed its relationship with Schneider. Schneider has refuted accusations of misconduct. Here's everything you need to know about Schneider's current situation as the new docuseries delves into his popular Nickelodeon episodes. Schneider is most recognized for his work on hit children's shows. He is called Nickelodeon's Golden Boy in the TV teaser for Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids. Schneider shifted careers in the 1990s after working as an actor in the 1980s. He met Albie Hecht, a development executive at Nickelodeon, and Hecht later gave Schneider a job producing the sketch series All That. He served as the show's executive producer and writer for the first 4 seasons before departing to take over The Amanda Show, which starred Amanda Bynes, an All That veteran. He continued to serve as executive producer and writer for the network on a number of shows during the 1990s, including Kenan and Kel and the 1997 movie Good Burger, which starred Kenan Thompson and Kel Mitchell. He and Will Calhoun co-created the Bynes-led television series What I Like About You for the WB in the early 2000s, and he executive produced the show's first 2 seasons. He co-wrote and co-produced the 2002 movie Big Fat Liar, starring Bynes and Frankie Muniz, at the same period. He went back to Nickelodeon in 2004 to direct Drake and Josh, which starred Josh Peck and Drake Bell, former cast members of The Amanda Show. Schneider produced numerous popular shows for the network in the early 2000s, such as Sam and Cat, iCarly, Victorious, and Zoey 101. Early in 2018, there were rumors of Schneider acting abusively on set. According to Deadline, employees complained multiple times about the situation. Additionally, Schneider's posting of photos of some of the young actresses he worked with's feet put him under a cloud of suspicion over the treatment of some younger stars of his shows, according to the Journal. Later, the Los Angeles Times revealed that a Viacom-CBS investigation claimed Schneider had verbally abused employees, but could not find any proof of sexual misbehavior. Since then, a number of Nickelodeon celebrities have voiced concerns regarding Schneider's purported actions on set. Jeanette McCurdy writes on how she felt exploited as a young teen on the set of her 2 big shows, both of which were run by Schneider, in her 2022 book, I'm Glad My Mom Died. She refers to Schneider as the creator, even though she never calls him by name. During her 2022 protest outside Nickelodeon's headquarters, Zoey 101 actor Alexa Nicholas made mention to Schneider, brandishing a sign that referred to him as the creator of childhood trauma. Daniela Monet, star of Victorious, talked candidly about how she felt sexualized while filming some scenes, including one where she had to eat a pickle while applying lip gloss, in an August 2022 Business Insider interview. Additionally, Monet supported the assertion that Schneider urged performers to dress in skimpier options and whatever was the most revealing. Monet, however, was careful to stress out that the show's sexualization was also a result of the writer's room, which was predominantly male. She also mentioned that everything that was broadcast had to be approved by Nickelodeon's Department of Standards and Procedures. In March 2018, Schneider and Nickelodeon split up due to reports regarding his purported behavior on site. In a joint statement received by People at the time, Nickelodeon and Schneider stated, after numerous conversations about future directions and opportunities, Nickelodeon and our longtime creative partner Dan Schneider / Schneider's Bakery have agreed to not extend the current deal. The statement went on, all parties agreed that this is a natural time for Nickelodeon and Schneider's Bakery to pursue other opportunities and projects, since several Schneider's Bakery projects are wrapping up. Over the years, Dan and his Schneider's Bakery team have created a string of lasting, groundbreaking hits including iCarly, Drake and Josh, Victorious, Kenan and Kel, and the current #1 hit show on Nickelodeon, Henry Danger, the statement said. "We are grateful for Dan's incalculable contributions to Nickelodeon, and we wish him and his Schneider's Bakery producers, executives, and social media team all the best in their future endeavors." Furthermore, Dan and Schneider's Bakery will always be ardent supporters of Nickelodeon and are pleased of the job they accomplished with the network. The previously stated series 2020 saw the conclusion of Henry Danger's fifth and final season under a new showrunner. In the years that followed, Schneider refuted accusations of misconduct. Schneider's representative addressed the ID docuseries in a statement to People, stating that many of the children there are forced to take on the burden of supporting their families by working too hard. To that, add the challenges of growing up as a youngster, working a rigorous job, and having to do so in public. Dan was their greatest champion because no one knew that pressure better than he did. The statement goes on, Dan has acknowledged that he was a difficult boss to work for and that he would behave differently if he could go back in time. But let's be clear, a thorough inquiry was conducted after Dan left Nickelodeon, and once more, the only conclusion reached was that he was a difficult, demanding employee. As for the sequences that some people seem to be sexualizing years later, all of these shows are still on the air today, and the network approved every single one of them. Though they are seen by parents and children worldwide, they would be taken down if there was a real issue. Schneider was named as a co-creator of the 2020 television program Danger Force, which was a spin-off of Henry Danger, even though he had parted ways with Nickelodeon in 2018. In an interview with the New York Times the following year, Schneider was quoted as defending his leadership style, denied he left Nickelodeon on bad terms, and described his departure as a natural confluence of events after an exhausting period in which he delivered as many as 50 episodes of shows each year. However, Schneider declined to comment on the investigation. He revealed that he lost 100 pounds in the interview and said that he took a break to take care of a lot of stuff that I'd let go by the wayside for decades during his absence. He said at the time that he was working on a new pilot for a different network, calling it ambitious and very different from his previous work and intended for an audience that was more of an adult. He also mentioned that he was working on a second pilot that was intended for children and their families. There hasn't been any updated information about the two pilots as of yet. Schneider broke his quiet over the docuseries when Quiet on Set debuted by speaking with Boog, who portrayed Tebow on iCarly. Schneider expressed regret for his previous acts, which are discussed in the document, in the video that The Hollywood Reporter released. "Over the last 2 nights, watching has been really challenging. Me acknowledging my previous actions, some of which I regret and are embarrassing," he remarked. "I definitely owe some people a pretty strong apology. Seeing the hurt in some people's eyes as I watched the show made me feel terrible, remorseful, and sorry," he said. "I wish I could go back, especially to those earlier years of my career, and bring the growth and the experience that I have now and just do a better job and never, ever feel like it was okay to be an asshole to anyone, ever."